Hey everybody, I'm Paste Magazine TV editor Allison Keene here with our editor-in-chief Josh Jackson, and this is the TV Power Rankings, the top 10 shows of the week as voted on by our TV writers and editors. And this is our final power ranking before the holiday season.
Last of 2018, 2019, whatever year we are at.
That peak TV will make you forget what year it is. That there
yes.
is just so much. This week we're starting number 10 with the L Word Generation Q. The L Word has come back to Showtime. 3 of the original cast members are here. Jennifer Beals, Catherine Moning, Leisha Haley, and they're joined with a new cast that is a little less white, a little less privileged. That was one of the main complaints about the original L Word, and just sort of exploring some new LGBT issues. And yeah, it is. I have not watched it yet, but according to our writers, it is actually really good and has a lot of really interesting things to say. I think they learned a lot from that first outing on Showtime.
It is interesting to see it updated for our times.
Yeah, a new generation.
A new generation.
Number 9 this week is Mr. Robot, which is wrapping up soon, the whole series.
Yeah, we've got 1 episode this week, 1 episode next week, and then we're done with Mr. Robot.
It's been interesting because, I mean, the season's been very twisty still, but Mr. Robot's a show that people watch, I think, for different reasons. Some are really into the clues and sort of the Reddit aspect of it all. Some are really into the experimentation of the kind of episodes, you know, fully silent episodes or like one-take episodes. And then others are watching for all the emotional twists and turns. And this past week, it was revealed that Elliot might have a third personality in the mix. So I think it'll be interesting to see how the final episodes, which of those paths they really decide to focus on.
Maybe one big twist
and maybe one,
all.
Yeah, maybe there was no Elliot the whole time. Maybe it was all a dream. We know that works really well on TV. Number 8 is The Morning Show on Apple TV. Now, The Morning Show had been on our power rankings and then sort of fell off and is back again. And that kind of sums up The Morning Show. It's a bit of a mixed bag. It's a little bit messy. And
yeah,
it's
I have not been watching, but everybody I've talked to has just said, "Oh, this is enjoyable. It's not maybe super substantive, but." They've got good people in it, and
Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell. I mean, a great cast. But yeah, it's a very, very soapy drama that wants to say something about Me Too, and I don't know that it's super successful at doing that. But
a good soapy drama.
It's a good soapy drama. End of the day. Number 7 is Evil on CBS, a show that we've been enjoying a lot this season. I think this was its winter finale. Another really creepy episode. This is a horror show, which you're not expecting necessarily.
Well, when you're focusing on YouTube influencers, that is pretty scary.
That is very scary. And it really nails it. I mean, one of the things that Robert and Michelle King, who created the show, they're very good at sort of bringing in those ripped from the headline storylines that feel very organic and very true. And they do a really good job of not making it feel like, you know, we saw an article on the internet that explained this thing, so we're going to make a TV show episode about it. But it's actually like it feels very real and very
hearing
smart.
about the two of them ripping stuff from the headlines just makes me want The Good Fight to come back. I'm ready for that.
So many good shows from them. Number 6 is The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel from Amazon. One of the happiest, prettiest, funniest shows.
It's so much fun to watch the show. It's very funny. She's very funny. Like some of my favorite scenes from the show are simply when she's up on stage doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Her delivery, it's the storylines, the characters. It's delightful. And if you're looking for not much beyond delightful, it is going to win you over every time. I do know people who are that aspect of it actually gets on their nerves.
Maybe it's a little too light.
Understand that.
A little too privileged.
But I love it. I have so much fun when this show comes back on. It's super bingeable. And, a great show that you can watch with your significant other, watch with any your
maybe
friends.
Not your family, though. It's
maybe
it's
not
got
the
some
kids.
Salty language in there.
Maybe not the kids, but yes, it is fun.
Yeah, it is really great. Number 5 is Saturday Night Live. Now, that hasn't made an appearance on our power ranking in quite some time.
Just when you think that, I mean, this is the show that just will never die, I think. This week, so you've got the I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus sketch.
A Marriage Story parody.
A Marriage Story parody, a Baby Yoda parody. Basically everything that we're talking about right now.
Which is how it should be.
Is what Saturday Night Live does well. And so a solid episode this past week. And then I'm looking forward to next week's SNL with the return of Eddie Murphy for the first time in forever.
Oh my gosh.
And musical guest Lizzo. So should be a great one.
Speaking of Baby Yoda, number 4, the Baby Yoda Show.
Yes.
Also known as The Mandalorian. This is a show I think a lot of people have have sort of fallen off with it a little bit. I don't know if it's the episodic format or what, but to me, it's just a really great Western. It's the Rifleman in space. This episode, they sort of have been dipping their toes in different genres. There was a little bit of horror this week, and I love it. I mean, it's 30 to 40 minutes
and
of
the
fun.
sort of heisty jailbreak,
the double cross,
the team of outlaws going, you know, that he's got to go along with to do the job and somehow maintain his honor through it all. I mean, it's all so archetypal, and that can come across as, oh, we've seen this shot before. We've seen this this little storyline before.
But never with a Baby Yoda.
But never with a Baby Yoda, and that makes it all the difference.
I have a feeling that if Mandalorian wasn't Star Wars, that people would be obsessed with it. It would be a cult. I mean, people are obsessed, but it would be a cult hit because it's doing something that no other TV show is doing. But I think the weight of it having to be part of that universe and having to explain things within that universe.
I think it's better because of that weight, because you see it gives you these little moments of joy of, wow, look at that. We haven't seen that spaceship in this universe before. Oh, here's a species that we've seen in Star Wars before, but we haven't, you know, here's a twist on it with this character, and sort of you've got all the little Easter eggs of just the dialogue and, you know, the familiarity of it all, I think makes it way more fun. Every episode, I mean, it is as appointment television for me as anything is right now.
Yeah.
And I love that we all have this shared experience of The Mandalorian and the Rise of Skywalker, which we are going from this taping to go to a screening of. So
we'll see if there's any connection there.
Star Wars is having another moment right now.
It's a Star Wars Christmas.
It is a Star Wars Christmas.
A Star Wars Christmas special. Number 3 is Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is the mega CW crossover that they do every year. Last year, they pared it back a little bit, and they only did 3 shows, Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow. This year, they're back with everybody. They're including Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow, which is your favorite. So
it's so good.
Does that make this way more exciting for you to have Legends of Tomorrow?
Legends, I mean, the casts are so huge for these crossovers. They're insane. So there are only 2 cast members from Legends, but you do get multiple Supermen. You get, I mean, it's not just the fate of the universe here. It's the fate of the multiverse. So, and they also, Black Lightning had the first crossover into the Arrowverse, which Black Lightning has always been separate. So now Black Lightning's in the mix as well. It's huge. It was a 3-night event last week, and in January it will be a 2-night finale to finish it all out. And it's going to be the stakes for this kind of stuff are never really high because these shows don't take a lot of risks other than Legends of Tomorrow. But there's some stuff that's going to be happening here that even if you have not watched these shows in a while, which I had not, a lot of fun cameos, a lot of fun things that are happening while the multiverse is being destroyed.
Well, it's funny because, you know, Marvel, which had really gotten off to kind of a great start on with its television properties, everything's basically getting canceled or been canceled, and so DC is still alive and well and doing big events like this.
The DC TV universe has been really fun, and for comic fans or people that used to watch the old
unlike their
shows,
movies, which are not fun.
Some are, but most aren't. Yeah. But yeah, the Crisis on Infinite Earths has been, it was a lot of fun. So if you've tuned out, check it out. It's definitely worth watching. Number 2 is The Expanse, which had its premiere on Amazon. It has moved
I'm
from
excited
sci-fi
that
to
this
Amazon.
got saved. This is a TV show, a sci-fi show, you know, that takes place in our solar system. So multiple planets, a futuristic space travel show. Unlike any we've had, I think, since Battlestar Galactica, where it's this
sci-fi.
gritty, hard sci-fi, gritty future that feels ironically realistic in looking at the future. Humanity has not found some high moral ground and solved all our problems. There's still factions and political infighting and all of the things that relate to our modern era. But looking at that in a futuristic lens. And now that it's on Amazon, so we've got the whole season to binge here at once. I'm just a couple episodes in, but I'm enjoying it so far. The budgets help. I mean, it's when you're telling space stories, it's nice to be able to see the future and, you know,
so it's not
on the
totally
screen.
Dark so that you can't see anything when it was on sci-fi. Yeah,
exactly. You know, it never found a big enough audience on sci-fi to keep going, but the audience it had was a pretty loyal following.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think it will find its, I think it's going to find its audience here on Amazon. it starts in season 4 with a sort of a new. You could jump in on season 4 without going back and watching 3 seasons and not feel completely lost. But it is worth going back, and just if you're a sci-fi fan. These are the kinds of TV shows that we want to be made. There's so much bad TV sci-fi, and this is really quality television. Good writing. Like that's the thing that's often missing in shows like this, and I think that's continuing on here in season 4.
Very nice. Number 1 is the Watchmen finale on HBO, and this is really the finale as far as we're aware. Like really, really, really the end of the show. So we'll see.
So it is self-contained. We don't know if there'll be a season 2. I don't think there necessarily needs to be one. Damon Lindelof has told a wonderful self-contained story here. I would go as far to say that this is the best comic book / superhero television show that's ever been done.
And that's only because Josh has not finished watching Legends of Tomorrow.
But no, it's from the writing, from being substantive to being surprising and the twists and turns that the story took, to taking beloved characters in a franchise and making it feel fresh and new and relevant, to ending well, to like Damon Lindelof has stuck the landing here.
Which is itself a story, I think.
So I liked it so much, I will say that it got me going back and giving The Leftovers a second chance, which I had given up halfway through the first season, and I've been binging that, and it really does get good. So that's another recommendation there. But I did not go into this show expecting to love it nearly as much as I have. 10 tight, well-done episodes that tell different stories and of different characters. So many great actors here. Regina King, Gene Smart.
Just everybody. Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons. Yeah, it's so well cast. It's so well acted. It's so well told. I thought it was wonderful.
And it is set in Tulsa, but filmed in Decatur, Georgia.
It's so weird seeing my hometown of Decatur, Georgia, standing in, and all of the recognizable places that restaurants and bars I've visited a million times. The Brick Store.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's been really good. Well, that's it from us here at our Pace Studio in downtown Atlanta for 2019. Join us again for the best television of the week in 2020. Happy holidays.